Okay, now that we have gone through all 4 steps in the writing process, I thought it would be helpful to go through the writing process from beginning to end. So we're going to take one writing question and we're going to go through all 4 steps in the writing process over the next few videos. So let's quickly review, what are the 4 steps in the writing process? Well, first we need to make a point, and we discover that point by doing pre-writing, getting some ideas on paper. And then with step 2, we have to come up with supporting points and specific evidence for our point. Now, we generated those ideas back in step 1, but in step 2, we pick out, okay, what are my best, say, 3 supporting points, and what are lots of specific details that go along with those supporting points. Once we have all of that down, now it's time to move to step 3, organizing our supporting points. We pick an order that makes sense and put those 3 supporting points in order. We add transitions, we write a sketch outline, we write a topic sentence. At the end of that step, we're ready to write a rough draft. Now, once we have our rough draft, we're ready for step 4, which is to revise and edit, to make sure that all of our sentences are clear and error-free, and to make sure we have lots of specific detail that we didn't leave anything out. So, I have a question on the board. This is going to be the question we use for our paragraph. The question is, what improvements could a college make to entice new students? So with that question, what are all of our supporting points going to need to be? Well, they're going to need to be improvements, right? We're going to need examples of improvements. So I'm going to put that in the middle here. I have decided that for my pre-writing, I'm going to do a cluster diagram. And because we can't truly do this in an interactive way, I've taken a shortcut. I asked my students this question in a face-to-face class, and they gave me lots of great ideas for improvement. So I'm going to use the suggestions they came up with for this exercise. So what are some of the improvements we could make to a college that you think would entice new students? Well, one, and this has been in the news a lot lately, is free tuition. Now, why would that entice new students? Well, for one, some students can't afford college right now, and that's the only thing keeping them away. Also, if students do attend college and graduate, they are often left with a lot of student debt from student loans and things like that. So they wouldn't have any student debt if we had free tuition. What's another supporting point? Students always mention this one, parking. They wish there was more convenient parking, closer to their building, more spaces. And maybe they wish that there were that it was free. Sometimes students have to buy those parking passes. So what are some other improvements we could make? Well, what about more online classes? More and more classes seem to be moving online. Why do you think students like online classes? Well, they're convenient. They use technology, and students really like to use the latest technology whenever they can. And then let's look at the next improvement. I really liked this one when a student suggested this one, daycare. So many students now are parents who are unable to attend college because, or maybe it's just inconvenient for them to attend college because they have to take their kids to daycare in order to attend class. So if there was an on-campus daycare that was affordable and on campus, that would be a big improvement. One final improvement, what about textbooks? What would you change about textbooks? Well, how about making them cheaper, for one? A lot of textbooks are actually pretty expensive. And What about online textbooks? How do you feel about that? With so many students taking online classes, it would only make sense for more textbooks to be online. Okay, so I've got quite a few improvements here. That gets us through step 1. I've got lots of ideas on paper. For step 2, we need to pick our best ones. So I want to go with 3 supporting points for this paragraph. So what do you think are the best 3 of the paragraph, or of the 3 supporting points that we have up here? What are the best 3? Well, I personally like this one. So I'm going to include it in the mix, the daycare. What else? How about free tuition? That seems to be popular. And let's talk about some textbooks. I think that's a good supporting point. So now I think we've got 3 good supporting points. We've got a few specific details beside each point. So we're going to stop here and move on to step 3. And in step 3, we're going to take all this and organize it, add transitions, and write a topic sentence. So I'll see you in the next video.